Hi guys, this is Ma'am Liz, your resource person when it comes to education matters. And today, I will show you the different kinds of authentic assessment. There are different kinds of authentic assessment which teachers may use. Just be reminded that the selection of assessment strategies to be used depends on the learning objectives. Now, let's see the authentic assessments we have here. First, we have the graphic organizers and concept map. Graphic organizers are visual representations of mental maps using important skills such as sequencing, comparing, contrasting, and classifying. They involve students in active thinking about relationships and associations. They help students make their thinking visible. To use the graphic organizers as an assessment tool, there must be a criteria describing what content and relationships should be visually shown in student work. These criteria or rubrics make assessments more objective. Now, what you see is a flowchart. You can see arrows pointing from one figure to another to show a flow or a process. And this one, where circles are overlapping, is a Venn diagram. Now you see a lot of bubbles. This is a bubble map diagram. Yes, this is a worm. It is called a story worm, where learners can write the details of a story such as the main character, the setting, the events, the conclusion. I think you can use the worm figure for purposes other than detailing a story. Obviously, this is a hamburger diagram. Can you think of an activity where you can use this? This is a PMI strategy report. P for plus, referring to what is positive. And then you may use positive for something that students have understood or learned in the lesson. M for minus, which refers to what is negative. You may use negative for something that they find vague or unclear. And then the I for interesting, something that students find it motivating, exciting, or fascinating. I'm sure many of you are aware of Harry Potter. Well, I just recalled it because what we have here is a reflective tool used in authentic assessment. Mrs. Potter's questions. See the questions given to students during a task and see the questions given after completing a task. These questions lead students to plan, monitor, regulate, and evaluate their performance. Another authentic assessment we have here, the performance products. Many of the performance activities are end products of learning that can be assessed by rubrics to measure both processes and product quality. These products serve as a culminating experience in which students can retrieve previous learning, organize important information, and complete assigned activities by showing mastery of what they have learned. And these are the examples of performance products. We have here the live performances and presentation. The most important assessment strategy with live performances and presentation is to engage students in assessing their own performance first, followed by teacher assessment and an opportunity for students and teachers to interact over assessment findings. So the key to effective assessment of live performances and presentation is establishing the criteria and performance indicators in advance. Live presentations involve two major assessment factors. One is the quality of assigned work, and the second is the demonstration of presentation skills. These are the samples of live performances and presentations. Another authentic assessment is the performance-based assessment, or PBA. In PBA, students are asked to perform an authentic task that simulates a real-life experiences and imitates real-world challenges. PBA encourages students to synthesize their knowledge and apply their skills to circumstances that are likely to occur in the real world that is beyond the four walls of a classroom. So some examples of PBA include designing and constructing a model, developing, conducting, and reporting on a survey, carrying out a science experiment, creating and testing a computer program, and outlining, researching, and writing an in-depth report. Scoring rubrics are used to measure a PBA. Now, learning logs and learning journals, there is a distinction between the two. Learning logs usually consist of short, objective entries under specific headings such as problem solving, observations, questions about content, homework assignments, or other categories designed to facilitate record keeping. By contrast, journals typically include more extensive information and are usually written in narrative form. They are more subjective and focus more on feelings, reflections, opinions, and personal experiences. They are often used to respond to situations, describe events, reflect on personal experiences and feelings, connect what is being learned with past learning, and predict how learnings can be used in real life. Projects. Many different types of projects can be developed to challenge students to produce something rather than reproduce knowledge on traditional tests. Projects allow students to demonstrate a variety of skills, including communication, technical, interpersonal, organizational, problem-solving, and decision-making skills. Projects also provide students with opportunities to establish criteria for determining the quality of the planning and design processes, the construction process, and the quality of the completed project. There are 4 major sections of a project. The plan, which details the process that helps the students design the project. The evidence of progress towards developing the final product. The final product, which is the result of students' work. And the oral presentation, in which the student describes the project, explains what skills were applied, and evaluates his or her work. Self-assessment. Self-assessment is generally viewed as a formative strategy that promotes self-regulation and helps students to judge their work, to reflect on their progress, and to determine revisions and improvements on a task to meet a specific criteria. For self-assessment to be truly effective, 4 conditions must be in place. First, students and teacher agree on the self-assessment criteria to be used by the former. Second, students are taught how to apply the self-assessment criteria. Third, teachers provide feedback on the students' own assessments. And last, teachers help students use assessment data to enhance greater learning and to meet the learning objectives. And of course, peer assessment. Peer assessments can be used with different authentic tasks such as papers, presentations, performances, projects, among others. So in peer assessment, learners assess the work of other learners, and the feedback obtained provides information about the quality of their work or output. So while peer assessment is a good teaching strategy, it can also be considered a part of the grading system. For example, peer editing may be done on a draft report, but the teacher evaluates the final draft, or peers may provide a part of the score on a student's performance, but the rest of the score comes from the teacher's assessment. Role plays. It allows students to take on the role of a persona and to respond as that persona in a scenario constructed by the teacher. They are designed as authentic learning and assessment activities, so students can interact with other students through their personas to collaborate, collude, negotiate, or debate an issue. So both role plays and scenario-based learning provide students with decision points and branching out opportunities. Portfolio assessment. Portfolios highlight student effort, development, and achievement over a certain period because it requires students to document a collection of their works gathered over time. Hence, it is primarily used as a summative evaluation method. Through technology, space limitations normally associated with paper portfolios are eliminated through the e-portfolio. E-portfolio gives ease of storage, creativity of presentation, and facilitation of collaboration. Portfolios are measured using a scoring rubric. Projects. Many different types of projects can be developed to challenge students to produce something rather than reproduce knowledge on traditional tests. Projects allow students to demonstrate a variety of skills including communication, technical, interpersonal, organizational, problem-solving, and decision-making skills. Projects also provide students with opportunities to establish criteria for determining the quality of the planning and design processes, the construction process, and the quality of the completed project. There are 4 major sections of a project. The plan, which details the process that helps the students design the project. The evidence of progress towards developing the final product. The final product, which is the result of students' work. And the oral presentation, in which the student describes the project, explains what skills were applied, and evaluates his or her work. That's it. I hope you learned something from this video. Till next time. Bye!